life more affordable or more expensive over the last 5 years? Are you paying more or less for groceries? Is your power bill cheaper? How about the cost of a new car? How about your insurance premiums? Has your salary increased more than inflation? The answers are almost the same. It hasn't gotten better, it's far worse. All of these problems Australia is suffering from can be traced back directly to net zero policies. So this isn't just a culture war, as some people try to write it off as. This is a fight for the survival and prosperity of all Australians. This is a fight to restore our country's position as the envy of the world. Australia is the richest country in the world for resources. We have abundant energy resources. Australia is awash with vast amounts of proven coal, oil, natural gas, uranium, rare earths and critical minerals. We should have the cheapest power prices in the world. Yet we pay more for electricity than the countries to which we sell our resources to. Back in 2004, the energy...
Let's cut through the noise and get real for a moment. Australia, the lucky country, right? The land of endless sunshine, boundless resources, and a lifestyle that used to make the rest of the world jealous. But if you've been to the supermarket lately and had a heart attack at the price of a loaf of bread, or stared at your power bill like it's a ransom note, you know something's gone seriously wrong. And no, it's not just global inflation or supply chain issues, or whatever excuse the suits in Canberra are peddling this week. The truth is staring us in the face, and it's time we called it out. Net zero policies are bleeding Australia dry. This isn't some abstract policy debate or a feel-good green dream. This is about your wallet, your job, your future, and whether we'll still be a nation that can make a bloody Tim Tam in 10 years' time. Let's take a step back and paint the picture. Australia is sitting on a gold mine, literally. We've got coal, gas, uranium, rare earths, and enough minerals to power the world twice over. We should be the kings of cheap energy, with power bills so low you'd barely notice them. Back in 2004, we were paying just over 4 cents a kilowatt hour for electricity. Some of the cheapest in the world. Fast forward to 2025, and we're forking out 33 cents a kilowatt hour. That's an 800% jump in 2 decades. Meanwhile, countries like Japan, who buy our coal and gas, are paying less for electricity than we are. Let that sink in. We dig it up, ship it overseas, and they get cheaper power than the Aussies who live next to the bloody mines. It's like selling your neighbor your homegrown tomatoes and then buying them back at triple the price. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, mate, isn't net zero supposed to save the planet? Fair question. But let's talk about what it's actually doing to Australia. Our manufacturing is on life support. Remember when we made cars here? Falcons, Commodores, even Toyotas gone. Steel mills like Whyalla, struggling to keep the lights on. Copper smelters in Mount Isa, shutting down. And don't get me started on Cadbury. They're saying it's too expensive to make chocolate here. Chocolate, mate. If Australia can't afford to make a dairy milk, we've got bigger problems than a few extra degrees of global warming. So what's driving this madness? Net zero. The obsession with wind turbines, solar farms, and batteries, most of which, by the way, are built with materials strip-mined overseas using coal we sold them. For years, we've been told renewables are the cheapest way to go. Since the Renewable Energy Act kicked off in 2000, they've promised us lower bills, green jobs, and a thriving economy. But look around. Power prices are through the roof, small businesses are closing, and pensioners are choosing between heating their homes and buying groceries. Every time we add more solar panels or windmills to the grid, the cost of electricity doesn't go down, it skyrockets. And it's not just Australia. Germany, the UK, every country that's drunk the net zero Kool-Aid is facing the same mess. Soaring bills, energy shortages, and industries packing up and moving to places where power is still affordable. Here's the kicker. This isn't even our idea. Net zero is a global agenda, cooked up by unelected bureaucrats in fancy offices in Brussels or New York, who've never set foot in a Queensland coal mine or a Tasa factory. They're telling us to ditch our resources, slap up solar panels, and pat ourselves on the back for doing our bit. Meanwhile, China's building coal plants faster than you can say, climate conference. And India's not far behind. They're not slowing down and they're not paying the price we are. We're the ones turning off our reliable power stations, buying imported renewables, and pretending it's progress. It's like burning your house down to stay warm. Let's talk about the human cost. I know a bloke who runs a small factory in Melbourne. Used to employ 15 people, good, honest jobs. Now he's down to 6. Why? His energy bill doubled in 3 years. Doubled. He's not selling less, he's not slacking off. He just can't afford to keep the machines running. Then there's the mom-and-pop bakery in my town. They've been there for 30 years. But last month they put up a closed sign. The power bill was eating up half their profits. These aren't just numbers. These are families, livelihoods, communities being gutted because of policies that sound nice on paper but hit like a sledgehammer in real life. And don't let anyone tell you this is just the cost of saving the planet. That's a cop-out. We're not against clean air or healthy rivers. We're Aussies. We love our land. But there's a difference between being green and being gullible. Net zero, as it's being pushed, isn't about the environment anymore. It's about global posturing, about politicians and corporations scoring points while we pick up the tab. When your grocery bill doubles because transport costs are up, when your insurance premiums go through the roof, when your wages can't keep up with inflation, that's not progress. That's a policy failure dressed up as virtue. So what do? First, we stop pretending this is working. If net zero was delivering cheap power and thriving industries, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Second, we use what we've got. Australia's resources are a gift, not a curse. Coal, gas, uranium, they're not the enemy. They're the backbone of a strong economy. We can invest in cleaner tech, sure, but not at the expense of jobs and affordability. And third, we demand honesty from our leaders. No more glossy promises about green jobs that never materialize. No more blaming global events for problems made in Canberra. Show us a plan that keeps the lights on, brings down bills, and keeps our factories humming, or get out of the way. This isn't just a debate, folks. It's a fight for Australia's soul.